You didn't know? Well, here we go. Like and subscribe. So, you want to make money online. You want to make money from home. You don't want to go to work. You want to stay at home. You want to make money. Can it be done? Well, it can be done. What are some of the ways that we're doing it now in 2017? How are we making money at home online in 2017? Well, you know, it's the old adage. You got to keep trying. You got to kiss a lot of frogs till you find that prince. So you got to, you got to keep trying stuff. You got to just keep on going over and over again. Try this one, try that one. But there's different things. Well, you got affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is where you promote other people's products. You promote other people's products. You get them to buy other people's products, and you earn a commission, just like any salesman would do. Any salesman, you go to Best Buy, the guy comes up to you selling the TV, he's getting a commission. He's selling other people's products, and he's getting a commission for it. Okay, so that's what an affiliate marketer does. An affiliate marketer finds somebody who's selling something online, or it could be anything. It could be a freaking toenail clipper. It's a toenail clipper for fat people, so they can clip their own toenails. There you go. There's a tip for you. Sell fat people toenail clippers. They'll go like hotcakes. So anyway, you find a product and you promote it. You drive traffic to a website, and that's how you do it. Very simple stuff, very basic stuff. The hardest stuff is how to do it. So how do you drive traffic to your website? Well, it's SEO, search engine optimization, and that's a thing where it's not something I'm going to be able to tell you in a short video clip. So what you're doing is you're making backlinks and you're putting your website on other people's sites, and you're connecting things, and you're doing all kinds of technical mobo-jobo stuff that, it's pretty simple stuff, and there's plenty of videos out there you can learn how to do it, okay? And there's gurus out there, and there's pretty good guys out there that can do it for you too. So that's affiliate marketing, and affiliate marketing is something I'm doing right now, and I'm having a lot of fun doing that. So what else is new? So you got affiliate marketing, and that's how people are making money today. And another thing that's big right now is drop shipping. The drop shipping is pretty big. What you do there is, again, you're selling other people's products, but a little more involved. So drop shipping is where you I'll give you an example. So you take an item off of Amazon, let's say. So let's say you take a teapot off of Amazon. So you take this teapot, you take a screenshot of it on Amazon, not the whole ad, just the picture, and let's say that it's a $10 teapot. So the $10 teapot, you took a picture of it, you still framed it, and now you're putting it onto your eBay site. You got an eBay site, and you put it on there. You put the picture on, and so on Amazon, it's $10 with free shipping, let's say. So you're going to put it on for $15 on eBay. Let them bid on that sucker. So they send you the money for the teapot. They send you $15 for the teapot on eBay. Someone buys it on eBay for the $15, and then you go ahead and buy it from Amazon, and instead of putting your information for the shipping information, you put your customer's information for the shipping information, and Amazon will ship it right to the customer. And it's pretty simple stuff, and it's you never have to touch the product, you don't have to stock anything, you don't have to buy products, you don't have to have a big warehouse, and you can do this with millions of things. So what you do is you get yourself an eBay set up, right? You set up an eBay, and you go on to Amazon, let's say. You can do it on other sites too. You can do it for Walmart, you can do it for any site, you can do it anywhere works. But the whole thing is, it has to be somewhere where you can get the item cheaper, and then you think you can get a little bit more money for it, from on eBay. And the funny thing is, people say, well, people wouldn't buy something that's more expensive. How can you make any money? You'd be surprised how people, when people search things on eBay, your thing could come up in the search as the first item. at the $15, and there may be some of them there for 13, and some of them, but the ones for 13 they may have to pay shipping, and maybe you have free shipping. So that, you know, please, it works. So don't ask me why. It just does. I've done it, and you know, to me, there's a lot of work and a lot of management involved. It's you know, a lot of people with this home business, work from home, they think it's something that they can just, you know, do and sit back and watch soap operas all day. And you know, I was doing drop shipping while I was working 2 jobs and coaching 3 baseball teams. So it wasn't very easy time. I didn't have a lot of time to devote to this thing, and it started to work. And you know, I really should get back into it, but there's a lot of administrative stuff, and there's a lot of, you know, it's not as simple as people make it sound. It can be, and you know, the basic premise of it is very simple. Very basic premise is very simple, but you know, there's a lot of other stuff to it. For example, I had a return. eBay has a no questions asked return policy, so you know, you get this return policy going, and you know, hey, I spent the money. They sent me the money, I spent the money, and now they want a refund. Okay, that hurts the pocketbook. No matter how good you're doing, you don't want to give refunds. You know, listen to some of these guys. They oh yeah, you know, it's a percentage. It's part of the game, and it is a percentage part of the game. You gotta. But in order for it to be a percentage part of the game, you have to have a game. You know, you have to be in the game. So what you do is eBay, and you get all these different things from Amazon. You just don't do one item, okay? You just item after item after item, okay? You do it every day before you go to work. You get up in the morning an hour early, you just go on Amazon, you search for items, and you grab one item a day. You take one item a day off of Amazon and put it on eBay for a markup, okay? That's what you do. Do it for 6 months. You'll have a huge store, and you'll have a big business running, okay? Get some help, you know, have your spouse, you do a little administrative stuff, you know, you got to keep track of stuff, you know, you get emails, just send emails out. There's other marketing that you can do, you know, that to bring your customers into more items. And if you're the type of person who has a theme, like let's say all your products are outdoor sports products, or all your products are athletic products, or all your products are cooking products, you know, you get a niche going, and then you target them on the side extra, except from your drop shipping business. So, but again, you know, the whole trick to this thing is more than one stream of income. You want to have more than one stream of income coming in. So maybe you have a regular 9-to-5 job, and maybe you do a drop shipping on the side, and maybe you do an affiliate marketing, couple of websites here and there, and maybe you do maybe you write an ebook, you know, do that. But you always have to have more than one thing going on. All right, so that's another thing. We got the drop shipping. So 2017 ways to make money from home, and you know, so what's the idea? How do you do it? How do you work from home? How do you attempt it? You know, how do you start? What do you do? Well, you start by making some extra time for yourself. You got to figure that out. You know, you're a busy person, you work, you got kids, you got a life, you got friends, you got all kinds of things you got going on, and how are you going to fit this in? Because you can't make money. You can't make money while you're sitting on your butt doing nothing. Not in the beginning. You know, you get passive income. You get passive income going, but you got to build it. You got to build it first. So what do? You get up early. You get up an hour or two early in the morning. You know, if you usually get up at 7, get up at 6. Okay, that's what I would do. You get up at 6. So you get up at 6. You spend that hour doing research, figuring out which direction you want to go in. What venture you're going to do. You know, are you going to do affiliate marketing? Are you going to do drop shipping? Are you going to flip houses? Are you going to write books? Are you going to do instructional videos? Are you going to sell your own product? You know, are you some kind of educator? Do you know something? Do you know something about something? Or do you know nothing about anything? Or do you know something that you could teach somebody? Okay, you know, it could be something simple. You know, you could have been the goalie on the soccer team in high school, and you went to camp and they taught you some tricks and stuff, and you could make an ebook on you know, 10 tips to be a better goalkeeper or something, and that's an ebook, and you can, you know, you put that out there and you make money. You sell it for 99 cents, sell it for $1.99 or whatever, and you put it out there. You know, didn't cost you nothing to, you know, it's stuff you already know. You spent maybe 2, 3, 4 hours putting it together in a presentation and in some kind of ebook presentation. And if you don't know how to do that, you can go to Fiverr and figure that out and send your thing to Fiverr, and they'll write it for you. You know, it's just there's no excuse not to do it. There's no excuse not to do it at all. So, but what you have to do is you get up an hour early in the morning, you do your research, you figure out what's going on, and you find what you like to do. Some people don't like to be on camera. You know, I'm not necessarily liking it, but I just do it. I get over it. But you know, I'm not comfortable being a salesman, that's for sure. So like when it comes to selling stuff, I have a hard time, you know, selling stuff face to face. So I mean, unless it's something I believe in, my own product, something I believe in, I can do. Or, you know, but just, you know, like grabbing something off Amazon and trying to sell it, you know, it's not me. So I'm not a very good salesman. So, but I'll plug through. That's the way I got to make money. I'll have to learn that skill, and I'll have to adapt and overcome and put yourself out there. So the more times you do an uncomfortable thing, the better you get at it. All right, and not that you're ever going to like it, but you know, whatever it is that you consider your weakness in, you know, like I just said, for me, it's being a salesman. So you gotta like cold calling people. I used to do stuff with cold calling people, and it really was, you know, it's the real estate that I used to be into, and you know, getting leads, and you know, back 20 years ago, you know, you used a phone book and to get leads. You didn't have Google and all these, you know, fancy YouTube, and there was no internet when I started. So I mean, you were lucky you had a pager that left you a message when I started, you know. But anyway, these are things that you go through, and you adapt and overcome what you're uncomfortable with by repetition, by keeping on doing it. Speed, I'm getting a little bit up there. So, you know, repeat, rinse and repeat, go over and over again. So, you know, if you don't like making cold calls, like I was saying, you know, the trick to doing that is making cold calls and reading your script and getting through it. So, I mean, that's not something that's done anymore. I mean, it is to an extent, but not really, not the way I did it. But, you know, if that's what you're afraid of, if that's your fear, false evidence appearing real. So the thing is, people that don't want what you're selling aren't interested, but you're looking for the people that are interested. You know, that 1%, that 10% of the population that's interested in what you're selling, that's who you're looking for. And, you know, the rest of them don't want it, they're not interested. Once you accept that it's not for everybody, you can get over it, you get through it, and you know, you're looking for the people who need your product. You're looking for the people who are going to get benefits from using whatever it is that you're offering. And that's what you're trying to get. You're not worried about the people that aren't interested. You know, that's the problem. You know, you hung up on people that are what they're going to think because they're not interested. Who gives two shits what they think because they're not interested? I'm not interested in them if they're not interested in me. So you got to get that in your head. So you're not interested in what they're thinking about you because they're not interested in your product. Okay, so who cares what they think? All right. So you get that in your head and move on. So you're looking for those people who aren't interested in what you have to sell or what your product is or what your service is. There are people that are interested, and you know, that's how you get your searches, and they land on whatever you're doing, and they find your advertising, and that's what happens. But how do you do it? Well, it depends on what you're doing. Okay, it depends on what you're doing. So there's free ways to do it. There's paid ways to do it. You know. I'm trying to think, because if you're narrowing it down to one thing, then you're going to have problems. So I said find what you feel comfortable with and what you feel uncomfortable with. Right? You make a list of your pluses and your minuses. what you might need help with, what you might outsource. So like if you're not a writer and you're trying to write articles, or you're trying to write a blog posts and you're not a writer, or you don't have enough information on a subject, you hire it out, and you hire it out. You go to Fiverr, you go to Upwork, you go to these places. There's other places. You search it out. If you don't like what I'm saying, search it out from somewhere else. What I like to do is I like to get my information from 2 or 3 sources and correlate and figure out what 2 or 3 different people are saying about one thing, and say, okay, well that must be the one thing. Now that there's 3 people talking about it, and 3 people reviewing it, and 3 people giving it a positive review, it must be okay. It's not just one person saying it. So so you get up an hour early in the morning, okay, and you do your research. I went off a little bit there. So then you go to your work, your 40-hour career, your job, and you knock yourself out there. At lunchtime, maybe you check some emails and maybe answer some things, and you take a couple of seconds out, maybe watch a video or 2. But then when you get home, you finish your running around with your kids, and you put them to bed, and then it's 9, 10 o'clock at night, and normally you'd watch the news and get ready to go to bed. You have to spend another hour or 2 on the internet doing some research and figuring stuff out. So, it's not easy, and it's not a lazy man's deal, because, and that's the problem. People in work at home has a work from home, earn money from home, how do I make money on the internet, how do I make money online? All of those things have a negative attribute to where people don't think that they're legitimate. You can't throw something up against the wall, think it's going to stick, and right away it's going to make some money, and you're going to be a success right away just because you did a couple of clicks, or you started something going and then it didn't work out, and you gave up, and you didn't follow through. So you got to follow through. The thing is to build things up over time. So you start an hour early in the morning, you start an hour late in the evening, okay? You're getting less sleep, you're getting 5 hours sleep, okay? But you got to get it started. Once you get it started, it becomes a little easier. Then you can narrow it down to like maybe just getting up an hour early in the morning, and then you can have your evenings to yourself. Or if you like the other way around, you can do that too. I like to have my hour in the morning before everybody gets up. That's my time. But the trick is not to give up, not to give up, because something's going to happen in your life. Some personal thing's going to come, where something's not going to work out the way it was planned, and you're going to get sidetracked, and things are going to have to get put on the side for a while, and what you were doing every morning, could be as simple as now my son's playing violin, and he's got to be at school an hour earlier in the morning for violin practice, because he's a virtuoso, and he's doing his musical thing. So now you have to get up early for that. So now the hour early that you were using to devote to trying to start some kind of business or some kind of venture to make some money on the side, now you're taking that hour and you're devoting it back to your family. So it's hard. It's hard. You can't let something like that just make you give up and say, well, you know what, I'm not telling you to get up at 2 hours early now, but you got to figure something out, maybe a half an hour more, or stay up late a little bit more at night, but you can't just stop. You can't say, well, I can't do it anymore, because that's what people, you quit before the dream happens, before the miracle happens. And I think that's what a lot of people do, and you got to persevere through the hard times, and you don't give up. You build things over time. Like with the drop shipping, if you're doing drop shipping, the more you build it up, the more products, you got to pull products off, obviously, because they either are doesn't work anymore, or they're not being offered anymore, they're sold out from your supplier. But for the most part, you're building up a product line, and you're building up a storefront where it's going to work almost on autopilot, and you can outsource some of the work so that you aren't doing most of it by yourself. Same thing with other things, but the trick is to get these things started and built up. Obviously, you just can't afford at the beginning to outsource every little thing. So you got to have many hats and do it all yourself. And you know, who could blame you? You know, you're trying to make money. You don't want to be paying money out to people. But if you can, you know, save yourself that hour so you can bring your kid to the violin in the morning by spending $5 to a $5 gig to get whatever it was you were doing in that hour and get it done, well, then, you know, and by spending that $5, you get that done and you get your project done. So now it's bringing in some money. The $5 was worth spending. I mean, that's what you gotta worry. That's how you gotta think. And my grass is long, and I gotta cut my grass. So let me go cut my grass, and we'll talk again soon. So that's how you do it. You just gotta kill yourself, basically. You gotta spend a lot of time, okay, making extra time. You gotta make extra time somehow or other. Whether it's only 20 minutes, half hour to an hour, you gotta set aside some time. So you gotta figure out, when's your house quiet? Is your house quiet at night from 11 to midnight? Is your house quiet from 5 to 6, from 5 to 7 in the morning? You know, maybe you're a stay-at-home mother and your house is quiet from 9 a.m. to noon, you know, before, you know, kids start getting out of school or whatever happens, okay? Or maybe you're done with your running around in the mornings and you get home from 10 o'clock in the morning after you drop your kids off at school, do your shopping, and you're running around, and now you're home, and now you spend from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock doing some kind of work at home, trying to make some money from home venture, right? So you do that. You got to do it. You got to figure out some time. Now, the next problem that you'll run across is people telling you can't be done. You know, I'm going to tell you it can be done. I'm not going to tell you you can get rich. You can't get rich. People do get rich, but not you. Okay? Odds are, not you. But can you make $100 a day? Yeah, you can. You know, that's not too hard to do, but you got to build it up. You know, you just don't freaking flip a switch on the internet and make $100 a day. It takes time. But, you know, it takes work. You're not sitting on your butt and making $100 a day. But people are going to tell you you're wasting your time. Okay? If you're setting aside that morning time and, you know, other people think you're wasting your time, you can't listen to them. Better yet, don't let anybody know what you're doing. Okay? People are your friends, people are your family, and you know, they're not going to be supportive. They're not going to be, maybe they're not negative to your face, but you know, nobody believes in these dreams. No one wants to see you succeed, and because they don't believe it can be done. If they believed it could be done, they probably would do it themselves. But they don't believe it could be done, so they don't want to see you succeed. If you try and succeed, and they didn't try because they didn't believe, but you do it, then that doesn't make them look too good, right? So people don't want to see you succeed. They don't want to see you fail. They don't want to see you homeless and jobless and broke and asking them to borrow money all the time. But they definitely don't want to see you succeed. Okay? They don't want to hear success stories. Okay? You know, it's the old story of the man on the hill. Okay, the man on the hill with the money. Everybody points up at the hill, saying, "That motherfucker, that motherfucker," right? No one likes the rich guy. No one likes the rich guy. So anyway, you got to stay away from the negativism, the negativity, the downtrodden. You know, the people that are just not. They're going to sap your energy. They're going to sap your energy, and you're not going to be able to continue. Sooner or later, something's going to happen. You know, one day you're going to break your shoelace, and it's going to be all over. You're going to be pissed off, and then you're going to quit. You can't do that. You can't let the negative get into your head. Positive. If you're doing it for 3 months, hang in there for 5. If you're doing it for 6 months, hang in there for 9. Okay, if you're doing it for 9 months, give it a year. Okay, don't give up. Don't give up. Figure out how to tweak something. Figure out how to change it a little. Make little adjustments. Maybe something works and something doesn't. You have to be constantly on it, constantly trying to figure it out, and it can be done. And can you make $100 a day? Yes, you can. You can make more than that, but you know, let's say the goal is to make $100 a day to get started. If I can make $100 a day, I can relax. That's almost like having a part-time salary coming in, or you know, that's something that's a positive help. So that's what you do. All right. So now that I'm back on the road, so negativity, and you know, like your family, as long as you're giving them time and you're not taking time away from your family and you're getting everything done, you know, don't feel guilty about what you're trying to do. You're trying to better yourself. You're trying to better your family. If for nothing else, I'm not saying that you can ever quit your job, your career. You know, a lot of people have their medical coverage and their retirement plans through their job. They're not looking to quit their job. They're looking to make an extra income. If you could have an extra income coming in, so that your salary is just the live-on salary, and then you've got passive salary or income coming in from the internet, and that can go towards retirement, that could go towards vacations, that could go for the emergency fund, that could go for extras, that could go for your lifestyle, you know, okay? Or it could go so one of the spouses can stay home and raise a family and raise the kids. You know, you should have somebody home, especially in the early years, right? Before they're in school full time. So, you know, that could be the goal too. But, you know, and then eventually, who knows? Yeah, maybe you do want to quit your job. Maybe you can. But like a lot of people don't see that happening because of their health insurance and their life insurance, and so much of their stuff is tied up into their career and their job, and so that's their identity, right? So some people, that's their identity, and there's just no ways about it, and they're going to have their job for life. They, you know, put in their 20, 25, 30, and they get to retire, and meanwhile other people are looking to create online passive income so that they can have the lifestyle that they want, travel around and still make money. You know, they want to sit around the house all day watching soap operas, they can. If they want to freaking travel the country, and you know, if they want to be snowbirds and spend some time in Florida and some time up north and some time in California and some time, you know, go anywhere they want, travel the country, travel the world. If you got passive income coming in, you can do that, you know. So don't give up. Don't give up. Kiss those frogs, man. Get out there and kiss a lot of frogs till you find your prince, find what works for you. You know, sooner or later, you know, these businesses work. People are making money in these things, okay? Maybe it didn't click for you. You got to find what clicks for you and build on that, all right? And I always say multiple streams of income. You know, once you have something going and you're building something, you look for the next stream, okay? So like I said, if you have a normal job, that's one source of income. Okay, let's say you have a real estate rental property, that's a source of income. Okay, you have a blog that you sell your ebook on, and you're selling your ebook on Amazon, and so that's another, you know, income stream. If you're getting a couple $100 here, a couple $100 there, and that's how you're making your money. Okay, that's how you survive, and that's what you do. And but you got to work. It's a hustle. Like I say, it's the work from home hustle. You gotta hustle, you gotta work, you gotta put in the time. Now, granted, you're not slaving for 8 hours a day, you're not sweating, you're not breaking your ass. Okay, you're on the internet, maybe you're getting a freaking headache from watching all the pixels run through your head. But you know, so you take a break, you sit there for 2 hours, you sit there for an hour, you do a little bit, you get up, play with the kids, you get up, go run an errand, come back, sit down for another hour. What's your hurry? So you're not limited, you're not tied in. So, you know, if you have to run to Brownies, or you have to run to Scouts, or you have to run to soccer practice, or lacrosse, or baseball, or football, or basketball, or drama, or just want to watch your soap opera, you can, okay? If you want to watch the space aliens land on the History Channel, you can. Then you go back to it, another hour. Sit down, drive some traffic, figure out how to do it, okay? Watch some videos, get a course, find a guru, okay? Now, guru, you want to have a life coach, you want to have somebody, a life coach, you want to have somebody to motivate you if you don't have any motivation. If you have people that are dragging you down and you want to have some motivation, find yourself somebody that you watch on the internet and that's always positive and pushing you forward. You know, watch a couple of those videos in the morning. You know, some of the videos are too long. You want to watch a positive 10-minute clip on let's jumpstart this. Let's, you know, how to do this. Let's how to do that. You know, how to drive traffic, a free way to drive traffic, how to use Facebook, how to use Twitter. You know, you watch something like that to just get your mind going, and you jump page from there. The other thing too is once you sit down for that hour, what you should do is you get yourself a little notepad on the side, a little scratch pad, something you can scratch notes, you know, and at least that's what I do. I'm not totally technology savvy where I can pull up a notepad on my computer and organize. So I keep scraps of paper all over the place, and I keep a list what I want to accomplish in that hour. Whether I want to watch a YouTube video on a certain subject, whether I want to research Google for a certain subject, whether I want to optimize a page that I just written. So I wrote a page and I gotta optimize it. I gotta socially bookmark it. I gotta get it out there in the wide world of web. Okay, I put it on the list. So I knocked that off. So that when I sit down on the internet, the thing about sitting down on your computer is once you pop onto something, it leads to something else, leads to something else, leads to something else. If you don't have a game plan in place, it's very easy to get distracted, and next thing you know, you're off on something that interested you, that's on a personal level. Maybe it's related to making money, but maybe it's not what you're trying to accomplish today. So you put that in your watch later, and you stick to your list of what you planned on doing. Okay, you got to stick to your list, stick to your guns, figure out what you're doing, and stay on topic, stay on track. That's a point. That's a hint. That's a tip. A tip. Okay. What did the leper say to the hooker? Keep the tip. So anyway, so that's what you do. Stay away from negative people. Watch positive videos. Keep a list going of what you accomplish in that hour. Try and be as productive in that hour as you can, because you'll sit down and you'll find, oh shit, I wanted to do such and such, and I got sidetracked on that 20-minute video that I should have freaking put and watched later because I ended up killing my hour, and now I'm not going to get done what I want to get done, and now I got to go to work, and now at work, my mind is saying, I should have done that other thing, okay? Until you can get out of going to that job, until you can get out of going to that job and being just over broke. Just over broke. It's a struggle, man. It's a struggle. It's a struggle, and you know you got to adapt and overcome when you hit that wall. Okay, you're gonna hit that wall. You're gonna get to a point where you're gonna invest. Let's say you have $100 and you invest it into a venture, and you hit a wall, and then next thing you know, you got to get another $100. But your Boy Scout dues are due, and your kid needs a new pair of sneakers, and so you can't justify taking another $100 and throwing it at a business. Well, then you're going to have to figure out a way to do it and get it started. You got to keep the ball rolling. Okay? You got to. You just got to. There's no two ways about it. Keep moving forward. You got to keep moving forward. Always moving forward. So like and subscribe. Leave a comment on the bottom. You know, let me know what you do. You know, how do you manage your time? How do you become the most productive? How do you earn money from home? What do you do? Obviously, I do a lot of driving around. But that's my errands. I get my errands done, and I do this while I'm doing that. I'm compounding my time. So, you know, I do the same thing on the internet. I might have 2 laptops going. I might have my Kindle up and a laptop and my phone, and I might have a video going on one thing, and I might be optimizing a web page on the laptop while I'm checking emails on the phone, and the Kindle is playing a video on what my next my watch later list on YouTube to try and figure out what my next move is, or you know, if I want to optimize and let's say go to Twitter and advertise on Twitter, or use Reddit or Tumblr, and there's all little tweaks you can look up and figure out to add to your business, to figure out, get a little more. If you can do a tweak and get 5 more visits, 5 more click-throughs, you know, that's what you got to do. All right, people.